By the end of this video, you're going to have a greater understanding of what emotional freedom technique is, the benefits it's had on other people, and how it can help you specifically. My name is Ruth Ellen, and I help spiritual entrepreneurs specifically to be unapologetically visible by healing their visibility wounds. And oftentimes, people are putting up their big girl pants or whatever you want to call it and just doing it, taking action. The issue with that, though, is they're not doing it from a place of alignment. They're doing it from a place of social construct, rules and regulations that don't necessarily serve them, and ultimately at the end of it actually hurt them more than heal them. So my job is to help them to get more into alignment by healing those wounds so that they're doing it from a place of empowerment. So what's EFT got to do with this? Well, emotional freedom technique, or EFT for short, the studies have actually shown that it reduces cortisol levels, which is the marker for stress. So essentially you're going to be reducing stress, and it also changes your brain. So where your brain might have had a negative thought pattern before, after EFT is a positive one, which then helps to rewire the brain and increase your dopamine levels. So that's your reward system internally in your brain. So you don't have to get external validation from others. You're getting it from the pure pleasure of doing what you need to do because you've been healed using EFT. And so I've been doing some emotional freedom technique work with a few women over the last couple of weeks, specifically because I want to get back into it as a practitioner. And I found a pattern when it came to visibility, that there was this story that many had that obviously stemmed from different elements of their life, but was imprinted from childhood. And when we went through the work, they found themselves being able to go through the stories and almost be free because they've been able to own it. So I'm going to share with you the word peace as a way for you to anchor in what you can learn about EFT, what's going to be helpful for you, and then how you can work with me at the end of this video to move forward. So the first P in peace is to do with the pattern interrupt. And what's great about pattern interrupts is what it's doing, it's stopping you from doing that knee-jerk reaction that is really conscious. It's kind of like your second go-to. You don't even know you're doing it. It's just that thought. And so EFT will help to interrupt that pattern that continues to go on and on. The thing that you do, as in you believe you're being visible, as in you're sharing content, but doesn't actually align with your ultimate business goal. When it aligns with your business goal, it gives you the results you desire. But when it doesn't, what you're doing is sharing content that doesn't actually make much sense to your audience. So what you're doing is you're being visible invisibly. It's like you might as well not even bothered. So the pattern interrupt helps you to understand what's going on with you when it comes to your visibility, because specifically what you're doing is you're interrupting that knee-jerk reaction to do something that's uncomfortable, because you're getting comfortable again because you've realized I've got greater awareness. E, expression of self. So expression of self is when you are doing the emotional freedom technique, which is basically tapping the meridian points in your body to release the energy that has got stuck, the memories. You are allowing yourself to go from repression of memories to expression. Repression of memories that are or have been uncomfortable in the past, that you haven't really dealt with, that you've kind of buried underneath something else, is then transformed into an expression, your self-expression, you who you truly are. For example, when I speak to women and we do the session, there was one particular lady that talked about how her childhood stemmed from shame. And that shame meant that she didn't want to be seen in her business. And because she didn't want to be seen in her business, she constantly avoided doing lives. She did other videos, but she didn't want to be seen by others. She didn't want them to judge her because she got judged when she was a child. So my point here is, when you don't have self-expression because you repressed it, it's very unhealthy. It's not good for your mental well-being. And All of this is to help with your mental well-being. So if you are finding yourself almost desensitized, then let's change that by unlocking that resistance, that repression, so that you can then have greater self-expression, your true voice, right? Your true voice, not a voice that's being clouded in judgment and shame. That's the E. The A is acceptance. Now, one of the things that we do in the meridian, before we even touch all those meridians, there's a meridian here as well, there's an energy point there. We give you ownership so that you take responsibility. Personal responsibility is essential for this work because only you have the key to heal yourself. Even though I say I'm a healer, I'm a witness. I witness you being healed. And so when you are accepting your situation where you're at, taking responsibility, that's when the real magic happens. Because too often in the society we're saying, it's their fault, they did this. And acceptance isn't about the blame. It's not about blaming you or blaming others. It's about accepting what it is right now. This is the situation I'm in. I'm not trying to run away from it. I'm taking responsibility right now for where I'm at. I can't change the past, but I can change my present by being present instead of trying to run away and do things that don't align with me. So that's the A. Now the C is congruency. Now that's where the congruency comes in because you do the tapping rounds where it's the truth, all the things that you really feel. And the congruency round, the rounds where it's much more positive, is around what you want to see in your future. And that's when you can start to really align. And what the beauty of that is, you're not just going away saying, I'm cleared, my energy's gone, my energy is clear and everything else, problems gone. No. You're saying this is what I want in my future. This is how I'm going to show up from now on. And then we've got the E, which is the extraordinary growth. Because here's the beauty of EFT. We're not doing it because we like to touch ourselves. We're doing this work because we know healing is growth. Healing helps us to completely own our narrative. Where the narrative and the story and the main character and everything else was written by somebody else, we get to rewrite our story. We get to choose a new story. And that's extraordinary growth. Whenever you get to choose, whenever you start to take responsibility, whenever you change that pattern, whenever you have self-expression, whenever you start to be congruent, that's extraordinary growth. And so my hope for you is that you see this video and you're like, I want that for myself. I want to choose. I want to choose because I know that not choosing isn't helpful, because not choosing means that I don't get to be that person that makes the impact and help others by being the witness to their healing, whatever that looks like for them. So all you got to do now, knowing about the peace concept, go through this video again and book your session below. There's a link below this video, probably above, depending on how you've seen this, so that you can have your peace, because you deserve peace. And nothing should interrupt your peace. And that's the beauty of using tools like Emotional Freedom Technique. So hope you found this beneficial. Let me know what you found, what the biggest takeaway for you was, and how you are going to move forward by tapping into your own peace. Thanks for watching.